The greatest danger for most of us is not that our aim is too high, but it's too low and we can reach it. So to make sure that they are really high, we can't reach it, we have to make it possible to reach it. Einstein said that try not to become a man of success, but rather to become a man of value. Ex-President Bill Clinton said that in the new economy, information, education, and motivation are everything. It's all together. We look at the ecosystem. So UAE can only survive after 20 or 30 years if we go into the ecosystem and implement all the elements of the ecosystem. Now, a knowledge-based ecosystem has R&D, has incubation, has startups, and has education, which actually is the intake to all of these elements of that ecosystem. And always there's a deal flow to all these ones, either to conferences like this, either to competitions, either to tech nights, either to tech weekends. All these together will be dealing to incubate these kind of ideas. And at the end, we look at the growth phase to become exit strategy, and after exit strategy, we get revenues, and so on, create IPs and so on. Then it will automatically return to the fund that was created at the beginning. So it will be self-sustainable. Understanding a success story, it's very important. Silicon Valley is the only, I can't call it organization, it's a leaderless organization successful. This means that in the future, maybe in 50 years, there will be leaderless countries, leaderless organizations, everything will be leaderless, because it's the only one that's successful because it is organic growth it has. And what are the elements that we are talking about? Universities in RMBD, we had the 2 universities there, and then skilled workers, graduates of these universities, early adopters, the government, US military, even though they were unproven products. They need to start. And services actually, they have every possible service for this Silicon Valley. And of course, venture capital, that's something also missing in this part of the world. This culture is not there. We need to create it. This is an element of the success of that ecosystem. And of course, there are a lot of complementary organizations. If you look at knowledge society indicators, you look at UAE UAE was number 1 in 2011, and in 2012, Qatar became number 1. And then if you look at knowledge economy index, UAE and Qatar were 6.73, and then in 2012, they were nearly 7 out of 10. There's something wrong. We can't be 7 out of 10. There's something missing. If you look, that's why when we look at indicators, we have to look at what are the elements of these indicators to make them successful. Look at this economic and political stability UAE has. An education system, excellent one. Innovation, we have a lot of innovative ideas, but the next step is missing. And the IC infrastructure. There's one missing element, and that is knowledge creation. If you put that in, out of 7, you'll go into 4. So anytime when you give to the leaders our indicators, we have to tell them what are the elements in order for them to decide correctly. Now there's another one, that's Global Innovation Index. If you can see, UAE is number 1, but it's only 4%, 41.9 out of 100. The reason is because they have all the elements required, even the knowledge creation is there. So when you look at indicators, it's very important to look at these indicators in order to decide what we need to do next. Otherwise, it'll be a tranquilizer to decision makers, and it'll be a sedator to decision makers. And of course, the famous, that's the fourth one, which is Ankabut, the ICT infrastructure. I don't need to talk about it. It's already known. This is a very high-speed network that serves research and education and other entities related to these 2 main things. Now, I don't need to talk about this, it's too much, but one of the things that I like to talk is that body area sensor network, and this is something that is the future. That means we'll go into airports without using anything. It's between machine to machine. The person will not be at all communicating. And then, of course, there's also e-health applications, which is a very hot area now. If you look at e-health applications, we have a lot of them. Internet of Medicine, a special case of Internet of Things. We have the healthcare telematics, medical records and archiving. We have medical warehousing. All these are the big data and so on. We're talking about the cloud computing we're talking about. So digital imaging, telemedicine, and medical virtual reality. This is where Ankabut will come in. So the doctor, the physician will do an operation remotely by himself or herself, not telemedicine, just telling people to do. This is the future. Mobile medicine and smart medicine, we're using the micro-electromechanical systems and nano-electromechanical systems for these kinds of smart medicine, and the body air sensor network. I have only 2 minutes. So the future trends, just want to talk about the future trends, that's part C. It's important for any organization or any society to know where we are going towards in order to be prepared to compete with the world. And these are the future trends. One of the embedded intelligence. And these are all the future things happening, quantum computers, DNA computers, and so on. And then the second one is improved connectivity, so you can know where you are in this very crowded world. And of course, everybody is connected. We talked, anybody who was born before 1980 was digital, called digital immigrants. Anybody born after 1980 are digital natives. In 2020, I think they will be embryonically digital. That will come in 2020. So we can see that how things are moving. And the third element is things were between man and man, it will go from to machine to machine. That means there's no human interaction at all in the future. Everything will be part of your either clothes or part of your body. You'll interact with other places, anything, anywhere, and in whatever place you are, whatever position you are, it's all going to be a part of the body, and that's something that we need to think about. So I think I have still 10 more slides. I'll stop here because the ubiquitous Internet of Things is where you will be using internet to do everything wherever you are. You can go to going to your home, you can even tell the internet to prepare your coffee at this time and this way, and it will understand you. You have an address. Everything has an address. Everything. So many things will be happening, and this is where the Internet of Things are. And I think I'll have to stop here, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Issa. Ladies and gentlemen, please bear with us as we set the stage for the discussion panel. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the CIO panel discussion. Kindly make sure that you have registered your details with us for this panel, as we will be distributing an exclusive summary report of the panel to registered attendees only. Joining us today from Khalifa University, the Technology Development Manager at Ankabut, UAE Advanced Network for Research and Education. Please give a warm welcome to our CIO panel chair for today, Dr. Ahmed Dabbagh.
Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. Yes, I asked to have a mic. A lot. Good. I would like to ask to welcome on the stage Dr. Issa Bastaki, President of University of Dubai, and Dr. James Stanger, Senior Director of Product Development CompTIA, and Mr. Rabi' Debousi is Managing Director of Cisco United Arab Emirates. Oh, this is good. أهلا وسهلا. Good. This roundtable will focus on ideas and solutions and sharing experience on how CIOs continue to lead and innovate their organizations within a rapidly changing IT landscape. The traditional IT organizations no longer exist. The players involved in providing IT are part of a complex chain of services, from cloud computing, mobility platforms, virtual environment, and wearable technologies. Along with this rapidly changing landscape, the role within IT are also evolving. Some have even predicted the obsolescence of CIO in favor of the CMO, data scientists, and other specialized roles of the future. For the IT leaders, delivering critical business services become far more complex and challenging, especially since the expectation for quality, cost, effectiveness, and reliability in the minds of business users are also increased. The BCS International IT Conference has brought together some of the industry's most prominent experts and trends influencers. This is a rare opportunity to hear their thought-provoking insights into how leaders are meeting their challenges, and to exchange ideas and pose questions to the panel experts. Please join me welcoming Dr. Isa Bastaki. Dr. Isa Bastaki is the former CEO of the ICT Fund and actually the president of University of Dubai. He's actively leading the efforts to create an ecosystem in the UAE ICT industry by encouraging entrepreneurship, funding, research, business and development projects, and university scholarship, and implementing ICT initiatives at the school level. Dr. Isa Bastaki said one day, I always promised him at any conference I will say it clearly to my presentation, that United Arab Emirates doesn't need technology transfer. We have it. We are even saturated with it. But what we need in UAE to build the knowledge-based economy by the knowledge transfer. And this is exactly what you have seen in his presentation today. Thank you, Dr. Isa. Our second panelist is Dr. James Stanger. We have seen his presentation today. He's the Senior Director of Product Development, CompTIA. Dr. Stanger is a respected authority concerning web technologies, network security, and open source. He is also a recognized authority in the field of certification and long-distance education, working in the field for over 20 years. And also, he is one of the pillars of the knowledge-based economy and knowledge transfer. Our third panelist is Mr. Rabi' Debousi, I think very well known in UAE and in the Middle East. He's the Managing Director of Cisco and responsible for overseeing all aspects of the sales organization in the country. Rabi' joined Cisco in 1996 as a software engineer in RTP&C. He worked in the networking operation systems development area on Cisco's core routing platforms for 6 years before spending a further 6 years in a worldwide customer-facing and consultancy role in the service provider technology groups. Rabi' has achieved US technology patents that have helped differentiate Cisco's products and solutions whilst living and working in the United States, Europe, Asia, and in the Middle East. Welcome. Thank you very much. Good. I think to start here, we identify three main topics, three main subjects, which can leverage the IT improvement in talking about some buzzword actually we are dealing with. We went from E to web services, and after to mobile, mobility, cloud computing, big data and analytics, and now we are coming back to smartness, smart cities, smart economy, smart knowledge, smart education. What does it mean? I think all these big pillars and the focus of United Arab Emirates Vision 2021 to have the smart UAE, it has a lot of things to start with and a lot of things to reconsider again. One of the main topics we identify that we would like to discuss with you gentlemen today is the Internet of Things. I think we have seen from the presentation of Dr. James and from Dr. Isa that Internet of Things is the actuality. What does it mean? Things, we know that it means persons, animals, or any solid things. But the Internet of Things and the role of the Internet of Things in the smartness, it has a link. I will give 5 minutes for each panelist to talk about the topic of Internet of Things and his knowledge, and after we'll open the question to the audience about asking questions, and from this question we'll summarize the topic one, and after we'll move to the next topic. Dr. Isa, please.
Thank you, Dr. Ahmed. Internet of Things, there are sometimes there are some requirements for this to be successful. One of them is very important, is the addressing. So any element, any object has to have an address, a name and an address. And then it has to be known for the location where it is. And then the connectivity. And after the connectivity, the mobility. If you have these four elements, you have started to enter into the Internet of Things. Well, Internet of Things has another big requirement. Nowadays, the bottleneck of Internet 1 is what? Is the speed. Maybe you are fast, you are faster, you are fastest, and I am slow. If somebody wants to download something from me, which is slow, that will be the bottleneck, Internet 1. Because there's no requirement for a person or for an object to be a part of Internet. There's no requirement of the bandwidth. And that's the beauty